And this one here is interesting, this paper here, because this great grandmother of ours, great grandmother, she was in the stages of passing. She knew that she was going to pass on, and she prepared herself for her passing.
She did. She said they appeared holding white food. Her ancestors appeared holding white food out to her, and then you really read it. When you go home, you really read that, because she says all these things in there.
Yeah. So it reflects back to a lot of our aunties, listening to them talk about, you know, when they were getting the signs of passing on, where they'd see the old people, you know, come, and it was time for it was a calling for them. It was no matter where they were, either in hospital or at home, or even at the campfire bush sites, you know. They'd have these experiences where the old people's spirits would come, and they knew that their time was getting close to pass on. So the families were aware of all this. So it's very interesting to know this
Well, it's amazing that to grow up. I mean, this here is talking about a traditional way of life, a traditional belief, you know, and that's how they lived and believed. And there were certain things that she had to fulfill, do, you know, before she went, like all those things. And she believed in that. She knew she was sick. She says in here about going to get the, sending him to get the medicine, you know, but she'd passed on by the time he came back.
Yes.
That's a fascinating read. It really is. And great that it's recorded.
Yes, and it's a shame really to have this document in so low scale to understand, to read, you know.
What do you mean?
And with Jan on the right of me, to understand the knowledge of how things were worded and everything like that. I'm just so overwhelmed with this lady on the right.
Thank you, Cathy.
She's been such a privilege to be coming to see Jan.
But think about what you've taught me and told me, and it's lovely to share those things as two women. The colour, look, this is reconciliation, a white hand and a black hand, and that's what it's all about.
Yes.
That's where reconciliation comes from. It's not about all the rest of that airy fairy dairy. It starts here.
Thank you.
And here.
Yeah.
When you don't think about it, you just get on and do it, and don't think that. I don't know whether you're still doing it. I never think about, like that my friend Marianne, I never think about her being Aboriginal and me being non-Aboriginal. I never think about it till somebody else reminds you. Don't cry.
I think it's a blessing.
It's all right.
To have to have all that knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
To
yeah.
Oh, I think Jan is just an overwhelming piece of.
Yeah, it's all right. Maybe they sent me to tell you.
Yeah.
But you got it's a very proud, wonderful history.